job hunting in the AI era,
and careering, how to find and maintain meaningful work in today's economy.
2 great books that can help people who are job hunting. And Dana, let's talk about this a little bit, because this is one that's been out for a while, but it's really a anchor, explore your life, explore your purpose, explore directions with real world tips on how to get yourself reignited and on fire. And this is more the latest and greatest on dealing with the landscape today that's filled with people not responding. It's filled with automated systems. It's filled with AI generated junk, pushing that out as resumes and cover letters, so that now the companies aren't trusting a lot of the stuff they're getting in anymore. And then it's automated systems that are trying to look for a certain criteria. And then it's companies listing jobs that they really don't even have yet.
Well, there's that. And, as a job seeker today, it can be very discouraging because it is a sluggish job market. Hiring has slowed up. You hear about these every day. The news loves to broadcast any and all layoffs. They'll do that over hiring because hiring is optimistic and it doesn't get the news. But the reality is that there are openings out there. There are possibilities for you if you have maintain your skill set in a way that is valuable. And then also there's this thing called the hidden job market, and it's not a conspiracy, but a lot of jobs are never posted, and those that are fake jobs and or slated for somebody else, et cetera, et cetera. And using these 2 tools here, you can navigate this crazy system that's out there and do things. These tools, these 2 books will give you the tools to outsmart your competitors who are basically doing what we call spray and pray job applications. Right, Martin?
There's a friend I know, they lost their job, and he like, well, I applied to 5 places and no one answered. I said, you have a book sitting on your table. You need to open it and read it. But it's so automatic that they don't realize we're not against applying to some, but don't expect an answer, because there's so many reasons why not. One, there's a lot of those jobs really aren't real. A lot of them are hooks. And then the biggest thing I want to mention is, if you don't do the networking and find if you know someone at a company that might get a bonus if you come in and you submit an application, they don't get the bonus. So you really need to get smart now and not just throw this stuff out. And we talk about that quite a bit in this book.
Well, the other thing is, even if a job is legitimate and it's posted on, say, LinkedIn or Indeed, your resume, even if you do this ATS optimization of keywords and all this stuff that people are willing to, take $150 or $200 from your pocket to help you optimize, you can still not make your resume is perfect. It cannot be perfectly optimized. It can get jammed up. And we know, to your point, Martin, that people who are referred in by another human being, 4 times more likely to get an interview. And the other thing about spray and pray, going back to that, I think it's an addiction. Okay. Yeah. And the reason I say that is when you're job hunting and you're anxious and you're vulnerable and this thing says easy apply. Okay. Yeah. That's number 1. Okay. It's like taking a drug, and it makes you feel good, because if I get out 50 applications this week online, spray and pray, I feel like I've accomplished something.
Yes.
Now, the reality is I've had many clients, and you too, they've sent out 500, 600 resumes. And guess what? With the AI aspect of AI, and the companies using AI more, and job candidates being able to spray and pray even more, the HR people are inundated with resumes. Okay. So how do you stand out if like some HR people that used to be, they get 500 resumes for a post. Now they get 1,000. All right. So it's these 2 things, again, they're both on Amazon. They're dirt cheap compared to what you can get in return. Okay. Tiny investment.
This is fantastic. We want to thank everyone who's already bought these. It's a great one. You hear someone's out of a job, buy both of them and say, look, I heard these guys, I know them, look them up. And also, when things are scary and you lose your job, it's almost like an identity crisis. Having books like these that give you a roadmap to focus on gives you kind of a little security in there. At least I have a plan to work with. And we're giving one that's the traditional reevaluate everything of you, and then we're giving the new roadmap. So they're a fantastic combination to work together on. And yeah, you should buy them for somebody that you heard's lost a job. Would you take a friend out to dinner that lost a job that you're upset about? These two together are a lot cheaper than a meal.
Well, yeah. And the other thing, too, is a very competitive job market today, as we stated. And you do need every single tool to differentiate yourself and be the winning candidate. And that includes not just getting invited in for an interview, but how do you prepare best for an interview? Because often, this is absolutely true. The person who interviews best, not necessarily most qualified, gets the job.
Yes.
So we have tools in here
Yes.
that can help you in here,
yeah.
to be a better interviewee. And that can make a difference too between winning and losing that opportunity that you get invited into.
And we even have a custom GPT in this book you can go to interact with, to get help. We even have prompts in here you can use, ChatGPT and other tools like that, to act like an interviewer to help you prepare for the interview. So this combination is really powerful. We'll put the links below. And let's end with just a few real starting tips for someone getting going.
Yeah, so the first thing is to really audit your resume. Okay, if you have an old resume, is to audit that, make sure that everything that is relevant in your past is captured, and develop a good set of documents for submission, baseline document at least. And then also take a look at your LinkedIn.
Yep.
Make sure your LinkedIn is up to snuff. That's kind of foundational, but don't spend a lot of time reworking your resume before you get invited in for an interview.
Yeah.
Because this is kind of like a sales thing, but
right.
And this is sales, okay?
Right.
No doubt about it. Job search is sales, all right? We say, look, don't do the work before you get the order. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
So don't do a lot of customization and all that until you're very specific with a certain opening. That will save you time and headaches, okay, for sure.
Start making a list of what are the core skills. If you were a product, what are the capabilities? What are you as that product really good at? And sometimes you have to talk to other friends you've known from the past and so forth. But please don't send your resume out to people you haven't talked to in 5 years and go, would you review my resume? Take them out for a cup of coffee at least.
Yeah, and that'll come up. They'll ask you potentially, but even people you've worked with, they don't really know, if you haven't worked with them for years, they don't understand what you do, what the new job is particularly. But what they will give you is, if you ask them for some advice about, look, I'm a financial analyst, as you recall, and I'm looking for a new job as a financial analyst. And here are 10 companies that are on my target zone, whether or not those companies have jobs posted, because they don't always post. Okay. And then ask them, do you know anybody at these companies, or know somebody who might know somebody at those companies?
Yeah.
That begins daisy chain of a way to circumvent the madness of spray and pray job application.
It's just like marketing your business. You don't go, hey, if you see some leads for me, send them. Yeah. That's the worst thing to do. It's, I'm looking for this and this. If you see someone like this, here's how I can help them. Please introduce me to them. Yeah. Same thing with the jobs. Yeah. And what we've done is we've mapped on real skills that have worked in marketing businesses into the job market. And we've gotten a lot of feedback from people. They haven't quite seen this angle before, and that this really gave them a whole new way to do it. Because when people are selling a product that they believe in, then it's easier than just selling themselves. So we actually give a technique to structure yourself to almost be like the product you love to talk about.
Well, that's excellent, Martin, and absolutely true. And I just want to say that this process, okay, that we've written about based upon our many years of experience, small, medium, and large businesses, this process has been shown to cut your search time by up to 50%. Okay, so if it would normally take you 6 months to find a job, if you aggressively follow the instructions in these two books, and we as career coaches too, you know, we can help. If you hire us as career coaches, we can help that too, to implement this stuff. But it can instead of 6 months, maybe you get a job in 3 months. If you're looking for $100,000 job, how much is that? Several thousands of dollars in your pocket sooner. Relief for yourself, for your family, your ego, all these things all come to play. And you will feel elated if you beat your competitors and you do it in faster time than the average job seeker is experiencing. You don't need to suffer like that. You really don't. You're torturing yourself by following this crazy notion that I just apply, and something remarkable is going to happen. It's not. You can get a job that way. Okay, it does happen, but the percentages are not in your favor if that's your only technique.
Dana also talked about all the news, because it's really easy to get stuck on listening to the news and the numbers.
Well, yeah, here's the thing. I like to tell people, look, when it comes to the job market, and let's say if you're right now looking for a job, all right, you're going to have confirmation bias, okay, for one thing, meaning that when you see a layoff, you're going to read about it. It's going to suck you in. And then the algorithms are going to produce even more layoff and doom and gloom. Okay. So you gotta reframe yourself, look for more positive news. Okay. And it exists. There are new industries coming up as a result of AI and other technologies that are exploding. But you may have to reposition yourself. Okay, a little bit. You may have to up your skills. You certainly need to be, everybody needs to be AI fluent today. You can't get away without that. But think about it this way. One view, 30,000 layoffs. That's macroeconomic job information, okay? You don't care. You want to micro. It's you. And all you need, you're not trying to fill 30,000 jobs. You're trying to fill one job. And every single day, okay? When I worked for a major company in Fortune 500 in HR, in different business units, every day, okay, somebody was retiring, somebody was being laid off, somebody was quitting, someone's becoming disabled, jobs opened up. And the managers would run in my office, Dana, so-and-so's leaving. We need to replace them. Who do you know? They didn't say, Dana, what I'd really like to do is spend 5 hours scrubbing the job description, making sure that's right, and you get it posted, and we wait 3 months, until we get some candidates, and yada, yada, yada. That's an academic environment, okay? That's not the business environment. So if I knew somebody or they knew some candidates, those were the first ones to be interviewed. It doesn't mean that they got the job, but they were the first people you go to for filling that role in 90% of the cases.
Let's go through the table of contents and highlight a few of the items in each one of the books.
This book, and again, this was written a few years ago, but still, other than the AI, nothing's really new.
Right.
Okay. The process stays. That we talk about the new world of work. We talk about why me. And when I was writing the book, I had a very enlightened contributor. There were several. Okay. But she said, well, why not add why not me? Mm-hmm. And the purpose of that is like challenging yourself to say, okay, I can handle this. I can recover. I've been laid off. So what? Let's get over it and let's move forward and not dwell on it too much. Your career plan and personal brand. Okay. People overlook the value of personal branding. It's a nebulous thing. What is it? Especially more technical people, like they just, kind of discount it. But the reality is that even a 55-year-old plus, okay, I did some research on this, the value of appropriate personal branding between $50,000 and $150,000 more over the remaining lifetime of your career.
Wow.
Okay. I mean, it's huge investment. We talk about these strategies, job search strategies, which we went into earlier, interviews and offers. Okay. your career journey, and then we end with your life and career purpose. Because a lot of this, those of us like Martin, you've made career changes.
Yeah, and I've had to reinvent myself in my own business periodically.
And
It's a market change.
And
Yeah.
you know, these things sometimes, these forced changes. Okay, if we've been laid off, these forced changes sometimes give us an opportunity to renew ourselves and maybe even find something that we enjoy more, a more satisfactory environment. We learn those skills. We go into something new. It's refreshing, and it's a way to rebuild yourself and your self-esteem and your feelings of self-worth. So those are the essence here of careering.
All right, and then in job hunting in the AI era, we've got a number one, the stop spraying and praying is the beginning of it. And then the introduction, the game has evolved. You as the product, you notice some similarity. Again, what are you bringing to the table? And if you're talking about a phone, you don't talk about the features, you talk about what it does for you. But how to package yourself in that way to really get and grab people's attentions quicker. Creating a short list of ideal targets. That's another one. We talked about that. Market without misleading. Very important that it's ethics. You aren't doing tricks or techniques that then you could get caught on and lose your job after you've been hired. Creating the persona to market yourself. Again, this is dialing this in. And then LinkedIn, your digital first impression. Really don't make it a lame resume online. And what does that look like? And then publishing to be visible, how you can do that very strategically. Dana, we give methods even if you're not a natural writer. That's the big thing, because I've produced 4 or 5 books and I'm not a natural writer. And so how you can develop this stuff even if it's not natural for you. Mm-hmm. And then give first, give more. The idea of how you can view when you feel like you have less when you've lost your job, how you can feel like you have something to contribute, and then how to contribute so that you aren't going around begging for a job, but you're reaching out to people and reconnecting in the correct way. And then mastering the modern interview, which we talked about that with, using AI now as a tool, networking in person and over Zoom, the strategies that work with that. And then the conclusion, communicating your value loud and clear. And then we even have appendix with other tips and resources.
And people, you're struggling if you're looking for work right now for the reasons noted. Here are some potential solutions for you. If you adopt these, and sometimes you need additional help. You know, we offer coaching as well, but you know, those who aggressively follow this methodology, some people end up with multiple job offers.
Yeah, okay? That's exciting.
I mean, this is possible, but you have to rethink. You have to do what don't do what your neighbor's doing. Okay, right. Sitting in the office doing that. Easy apply on LinkedIn. And then, you know, when you do that too, if you rarely do you get an interview from that. It can happen, but more often you get ghosted. Mm-hmm. Or you get a thank you, but, we've chosen somebody else, other candidates for this, the standard little, replies. And you know what that leads to? That can lead to depression. Okay. Mm-hmm. Because if you do that over several weeks, you start to say, what's wrong with me? Mm-hmm. And there may not be anything wrong with you, your skills, mm-hmm. your abilities to work, but your sales and marketing is horrible. All right. Yeah. And these things can correct it for you. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. And we've worked with engineers, all types of people in how to retool correctly to get what works for them and be employed, because of course, the more time off, the greater loss.
Yeah, and it can put undue financial stress. The financial perception, even if you have some savings and retirement accounts, I've never met anybody who got laid off and said, unless they had a golden parachute as an executive, but, even with severance, the finances are there because it's uncertain. You don't know when you're going to get that job. So you're a responsible person. You're thinking, oh, what am I going to do about the finances? It's finance. I'm used to that paycheck coming in every month, and it's not coming in. It's very stressful. The longer that goes on, the more stress it can put onto you and your family. So, sometimes families split up over during career transition, and it can get very challenging. Okay. You may be in a situation where if you adopt these things, you get that job, you're going to be in a much better situation, both personally, professionally, and all the way around.
Excellent. Check the links below. We've got it available on Amazon. And we want to hear about your success in job hunting, and also what a great way to help a friend out, especially with the holidays coming up. This is Martin Brossman
and Dana Gower.
Have a great day.